So, like you have your good and bad days. So don't let the bad days like bring you down and like don't give up after that. And yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Sath. I'm a third year public health sciences major and I'm from the Gamma Lambda class.
Hi, I'm Amber. I'm a third year public health policy major from the Gamma Lambda class. And we're going to talk about mental health today.
Yay, awesome. Okay, hi guys. Thank you so much for coming. Hello, P babies. We're very excited for this topic because we think it's very important and I guess not very well understood because I feel like this whole mental health, like the interest and everything has just peaked recently, which is, unfortunate because it's it's a big deal, it's what dictates your everyday. So,
So we all have that period of time that gives us like the desire to advocate for the importance of mental health. So what would you say was that time for you?
I would say for me it's actually kind of recent because with the whole pandemic situation and quarantine, I guess I had more time to reflect on myself. And before, when during fall and winter quarter, right before we went online, I was not doing well. I was struggling a lot and I wasn't really taking care of my health. I was just spreading myself out too thin with school and work and extracurriculars. And I thought because everyone else was doing so many things that I had to be doing things. And so I guess that made me kind of neglect my mental health. But then when I came home, my parents also noticed. They're like, you look super tired and like you haven't been eating well. And that kind of made me realize that I've changed my second year, my eating habits and everything. So that kind of made me want to talk about mental health because I realized how important it was.
I feel like second year is like the hardest, the horrible bio classes. I feel like I was in the same place my second year as well.
Yeah, for me, I think it started like beginning of college because I would struggle like as a first year as well, but more of like recently too because of the pandemic. I think I found out like throughout the years that a lot of people struggle with mental health, but it's not really talked upon a lot because of the stigma. So I think that's what like made me realize like that it's really important to just like make it like more normalized so that people feel more comfortable and yeah.
so how would you define mental health to someone who doesn't really understand the concept of it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty common in Asian cultures. Like parents don't really understand it because they're not from they're from another country usually and they just don't really they haven't really been exposed to the idea of mental health in their culture and so they don't really get it. And also our stresses are a little bit different than what they face with academics and stuff. And I feel like it's just become so competitive like this recently. So I think that really exacerbates the idea of mental health and the impact of it with college students. And so I don't know how the best way to approach people who don't understand it. With my mom, she said, oh, anxiety is just something that you trick yourself into believing it's not real. So it is hard to have those discussions, but I think it's important to be patient and try to explain things without getting angry. Just be patient is the main thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of us grew up like with that mindset because in the Asian household or maybe other households as well, where they don't like believe in mental health and they like emphasize on like good grades, and like the GPA. So like you mentioned earlier, it's a common thing for like college students to have like burnout. So I think it's important to learn like when to take breaks and like take care of yourself and like self-care.
Yeah, I totally feel the Asian thing. I feel like Asian parents, when they were in Asia, at least there was a lot of focus on just survival. Trying to when are we gonna eat again? What am I gonna do in the future and all of that. And I think it's actually like a privilege that we have the capacity to care about our mental health. It's a different world. They don't understand, which is not to say like anything bad about that. It's just different. And I think with that a lot of stigma comes from the past generation to our generation caring a lot about mental health and wanting to take a break and wanting saying I need to stop. That's seen as something bad. So what do you
Mhm.
guys have to say about the stigma around mental health and taking care of it?
I think it's really important to break down the barriers of stigma, and especially in college, it becomes like really stressful and pressuring. So that's why we need to like talk about it more with our friends, and just like, I guess social media too is a good platform, especially now like during the pandemic. That's like the way we reach people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just like reaching out to friends about it like is helpful like for you, and it also like lets them know that you believe in mental health and that you value their mental health. And it just kind of like opens up that discussion like to have with your friends.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't like reach out for professional help or just like help in general because of the stigma, because they're worried about like being judged and all of that. So just like emphasizing like don't be afraid to reach out for help.
It's pretty cool. Like some schools, at least the UCs, they give you free counseling.
Hmm.
And I think that's pretty useful if you definitely want to look for the resources. Like the UCs definitely supply a little bit of it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is too personal, but have you guys seen a therapist? Because I kind of feel that I'm like I don't know if I want to tell a stranger the things I'm feeling or what my problems might be because it's just weird to talk about. This just feels weird. So I don't know. Do you guys have experience
Hmm.
or know anyone that does?
I think there's also stigma with like seeking therapy as well, like thinking there's something wrong with you if you do. But I think therapy can be for like almost anything, just like um, even for procrastination or like finding like motivation during these times, it can be really helpful. Actually, for me during the summer, I reached out. UCI also has like free counseling for short term therapy. So, and they've been doing it virtually, so that really helped me. I feel like I was just able to talk a lot about like how I was feeling, and then it's just nice having someone to like talk about it and like help guide you through it.
Mhm. I haven't personally gone through therapy, but I've had like two of my close friends have, and I could like physically see a difference in like the way they carry themselves, like after going through that. And like, I don't know, they just seem like they have a more positive outlook after going through therapy, and they feel like more in control of their own lives, which I think is super important.
Yeah, I definitely feel like really grateful after like I went to see the counselor that like I ended up asking for help. So then I tried to like tell my friends to like be really transparent about it. Like, oh yeah, like if you need help, like you can like UCI counseling, and like it really helped me. I just tried to like make it normalized as possible because yeah, it's a really good source.
How do y'all find time to prioritize your mental health?
Seth, do you want to go?
Sure. Um, So I guess like it's not really it's about making time for yourself, because you're never gonna have time if you keep putting it off. If you keep saying, "Oh, like after this quarter is over, over break, I'll start focusing on my mental health. I'll just put it in the back for now." No, it doesn't work like that, because that just piles up and you just keep on going. Um, so you really have to make time for yourself. And something that I've been doing like during quarantine is I've been like really trying to work out more, and like I've been working out like 6 days a week now. So like, and you guys know how unfit I was like during the year. So yeah, like it's not only like a physical thing, but it helps you like clear your mind and just like I guess like connect your mind and body, and just like not think about the pressures of school. Just like focus on like improving yourself and doing something for yourself, and it makes you feel like you do have control.
I think you just have to like make time to prioritize mental health, like force yourself. Because I know a lot of people like say they don't have time for it, but I think it's really nice like to just go outside safely, like go on jogs or like walks around the neighborhood, and yeah, and just like take breaks from social media type of thing, and find what makes you happy and set boundaries for yourself.
So I know that what works for you won't work for everyone, but so there's like working out, there's just taking a break from people or whatever, or going to therapy, whatever. So what's the commonality between all these things for someone who's trying to figure out what works for them? What is the end goal of taking care of your mental health, if you know what I mean?
I
I
think
guess.
a lot. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go. You go.
I was gonna say it's like finding like sources that are causing you stress in your life, and it can be hard to find those because you feel like what you're doing is just normal, and that's like what everyone's doing. But it's like you have to figure out like what in your life is causing stress. Like for me, it was like not being physically active as much, like just sitting around, and like also like not sleeping well. And those two are kind of interconnected. Like if you get exercise, you get tired, and that just like helps you sleep better. You release endorphins, so like But for other people, maybe they just need to get fresh air, like have conversations with their friends, like on FaceTime, or like do something outdoors since we can't really do much right now. Um, but yeah, like just taking time for yourself, even like meditation or like self affirmations. They have like a bunch of videos on YouTube that like could be helpful if you like for people who think negatively about themselves. Um, yeah, so there's like it's just like about finding what's causing you stress and trying to like combat that.
I think just focusing on yourself, like emphasizing on that, and like Seth said, like identifying your triggers and like what makes you stressed or upset, and then just like finding things that make you happy. But I think that's like a lot of experiment, and just like remind yourself always like be kind to yourself and that like you're doing great, like you're not gonna get it on the first try. It'll take a while. Just like being like the self affirmations.
Yeah, kind of like along with that, mental health's a different journey for everyone. Like it could take as little or as much time as it takes. Like it's just different for everyone.
And it's not linear as well. So, like you have your good
Hmm.
and bad days. So don't let the bad days like bring you down and like don't give up after that. And yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for coming today. I think this counts as a break for mental health for us, hopefully for you guys. We can't wait to share all this information with all our friends and everyone else because it's a very important conversation that we all need to sit down and have. Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.